Okay, now we're going to talk about parabolas. We've kind of done this already, but we're going to go over it again. They have a vertex. They have a focus sitting inside the bowl. The bowl sits on a line called the directrix. The distance for this is where we get P at. The distance between the focus and the vertex is P, and from the vertex to the directrix is also P. It's showing you in this drawing that if I go from the focus to the parabola straight perpendicular to the directrix, there will always be the same distance. So if I were to draw another line here, D3, that would be the same as this line right here. Standard form of the parabola. This one right here is when you're opening up or down. This one right here is when you're opening left or right. Notice the difference in them. In the up and down, the x is being squared. In the left and right, the y is being squared. The focus is P units, so we said that a while ago. And these are the 4 different ways you can have your parabola. Here's a little better picture of showing you where P is in between focus and vertex. Vertex is always at HK. Then you go P up to get your focus, P down to get your directrix. Make sure your directrix is always an equation. So instead of memorizing all these little calculations in here, I suggest you always go by a picture. For example, write the standard form of the equation, whose parabola with a vertex of 3, 2. So mark that on my graph. Here's my vertex. Focus of 1, 2. So if this one's my focus, it has to be inside the parabola. My parabola has to open up like this. Okay, so what can I get from this information? I know that this distance is P. And since it's in the negative direction, P is going to equal negative 2. Negative because my parabola is opening left. Then I'm going to plug it into standard form. Standard form for a left and right was y minus k, quantity squared, equals 4p x minus h. So what do I need to write in standard form? You need your h, your k, and your p. So now I've got, let's see, vertex gave me hk. So y minus 2, quantity squared, equals 4 times negative 2 times x minus 3. And I'm going to simplify that one step. Y minus 2, quantity squared, equals negative 8 times x minus 3. Find the focus of the parabola. Well, I'm going to put it into standard form first. I'm going to multiply this side by negative 6 to get rid of that 1/6 out front. Negative 6y equals x squared plus 4x minus 2. Since the x's are being squared, I want them on a side by themselves. This is the one that I'm going to have to complete the square with. So I'm going to add my 2. Negative 6y plus 2 equals, then I'm going to complete the square with the x's. X, half of that number would be 2, positive 2, squared, minus 2 squared is 4. Then I'm going to add my 4 back over to the other side. Negative 6y plus 6 equals x plus 2 quantity squared. The last thing you want to do is factor out whatever this coefficient of y is, because that's going to be your 4p. So I'm going to take out the negative 6 of y minus 1 left in there, equals x plus 2 quantity squared. Now this is flipped around. If I flip it back around like the book has, x plus 2 squared equals negative 6 y minus 1. This part right here stands for 4p. If I get p by itself, it's negative 3/2. So a few things from this. Since x is being squared, that tells me it's opening up or down. Since p is negative, tells me it's opening down. This puts my vertex at negative 2, 1. So if I sketch that on here, here's my vertex. To get to p, I have to go negative 3/2. And since it's opening down, I go down. So I'm going 1.5 down. So my parabola opens up around here. That puts my focus at the point negative 2, negative 1/2. Write the standard form of a parabola with vertex 1, 3. Again, always start with a picture. Focus at 1, 5. So we know this parabola opens up. The focus has to be inside the bulb. I need to figure out h, k, and p. Well, p is going to be 2, distance from the vertex to the focus. H comes from my vertex, and k does as well. So this is going to be x minus, and it's up and down, so it's going to be the x part is squared, equals 4p, so 4 times 2, times y minus 3, which is my k. X minus 1, quantity squared, equals 8 times y minus 3. Done.